And we are back. Another episode of The Chris Gray Show. I am your host, Chris, and what the heck are we going to be making fun of today? I'm still going to fix that little intro part because I got to make it match the name of the show. But we're going to get to that shortly. What I didn't know about this small clip I'm going to show you, I didn't know he was doing that to these two people.
Real respect these fakers want beef because they know that's the only way we ever gonna speak.
Okay, that is a 50 Cent diss. But if you look at their relationship or lack thereof, it's exactly what he's talking about right here. And I think that is really fucking interesting. Really fucking interesting. It's the only time we ever going to speak is if we beef with each other.
We never gonna see eye to eye. Your type of real I don't recognize, it's all televised.
For one, this is the greatest rapper of all time. Like, this is my favorite all-time favorite rapper, right? Let's be fucking perfectly clear. Conway the Machine is my current favorite rapper. Jay-Z is my greatest of all time rapper, if that makes sense. Right? It's important that we make those distinguishments before we get into any rap debates. And I don't want to even talk rap with a lot of people. Right? I'm 41 years old.
Mobsters out to not getting beef. There's no business in it. It only brings police. Wanksters want beef and they name in the street. Most time end up with a brain where they feet should go. You should know if you gonna do something and you go to radio. We all know you frontin'. They shoot.
50 went to the radio a lot. And he was, reading the charts and shit. Which is fine. Stuff like that. I don't remember him making like threats to people, but I don't know. A long time ago, like 20 years ago. The fuck you want me to think?
And nobody dying. Somebody better put somebody body on somebody eyeing. Sometime soon to somebody lying. I ain't buying that shit y'all shoveling. I ain't ducking for nothing, cousin. I'm too tall to act small, you liars.
The rest was a light Nas diss. This was Black Album time, so he's on his way out. He's on his way to retirement. At this point, we didn't think we were gonna ever see this nigga again, and for a long time, we didn't. Then he comes back in like what 07, 08, and here we are. 06, 07, 08, one of the fucking years. I put the year that Kingdom Come came out right here, and that's when he came back. So it was from the Black Album to Kingdom Come. That span of years. But shout out to Hove. I did not know he was dissing Nas and 50. Did not fucking know that. And I probably listened to this shit like a gazillion times. Had no idea he was dissing Nas and 50. Pretty clever. Anyway, I also rapped. If we can get into it just a little bit, right? Because it's not even that fucking it's not even that fucking thing, right? I started rapping or writing raps a long time ago, probably like around 21, 22, probably 21 actually. I was always writing raps, but I was never like reciting them, right? I was just writing. I was just a whole bunch of lines that just rhymed. They had no flow, no nothing like that. And I thought I was doing something, right? Fast forward to maybe 10 years later, I guess. I'm 30 now at that point. And I started to take it somewhat serious because I already felt like at that age, my time had already passed, right? If I didn't try to do it when I was like 21, then you probably shouldn't try to do it for the first time at 30. Right, so take it a little bit serious. But once me and my ex-wife moved in with each other, that's when I was really able to do that shit. And I was probably 32 or 33, right? 33, right? Maybe even 30. Wait, yeah, 33. Right? Whatever fucking year I was in 2017, 18. Right? 17 actually. 2017. Took it serious, was able to actually do it. once I found out about fucking TuneCore, once I found out that all you need to do is just put the shit on TuneCore, upload to them niggas, it was good. That should be on Apple Music, all that shit. I didn't know it was that fucking easy, right? So once I understood that, I was off to the races, right? You give me a way to do something, right? Just something that connect that one dot, those two dots and stuff like that, and then I'm gone. Then I'll be able to just make it my own at that point, right? So start writing raps, had the routine down, come home from work, because it worked. That's why I was able to do it. I was able to fucking pursue hip hop or pursue rap because I was able to pay my rent, pay out my bills, pay for my way of living, and stuff like that. So I was afforded the luxury by that in order to do that. 'Cause I couldn't, like, there's certain luxuries you can't have if you don't have no job or no money coming in, right? You can't be a heavy weed smoker with no fucking job, right? You can't want to rap like professionally and shit if you don't have no money, right? If you have money, those things are infinitely easier and infinitely easier to maintain. Right, so having a job and shit like that and working all the time allowed me to rap. Unfortunately, only writing rhymes from 6 to 8 every night, your growth is going to be really slow compared to niggas who's writing rhymes all fucking day, who's in the studio all fucking day, right? You know, I had promise, right? I demonstrated the ability to be able to rap coherently, have some type of flow, and actually be saying stuff too, right? It was like that. All I need to do is put more work into it. I had to go in the gym and hit more motherfucking jumpers and shit and do my suicides and participate in 3-man weave, all that shit. I had to do a lot of that shit in order to get better. So that's what I was on my way to. I was 30 years old in AAU, right? This nigga's hot. He got some talent. He got some skill. Let's try to see if he can get to a college or some shit like that. So that I liken the time I did put out music as to like somebody who's playing AAU. Right, I didn't necessarily make it to anywhere. Right, niggas flamed out, but I didn't flame out because of lack of talent. I got a divorce, and that just took over my entire life, and it didn't necessarily sap my music making abilities and shit. I just stopped doing it because I had to focus on other things that was going on in my life, and it was hard to focus on the act of writing rhymes. Because that's what I did. I wrote the rhymes. Like everything I spit, I wrote. Because I can't fucking freestyle for shit. And I take pride in writing, right? And I was one of those MCs who wrote all his rhymes. And I was one of those MCs who did his verses in one take, right? It didn't feel natural to me to start off. If I fucked up on one part after eight or 9 bars or whatever, it didn't feel natural to me to come in and finish the shit, right? It was hard for me to still catch the cadence like that off the fly. So I just started the whole shit all over again until it just became natural. And then that became an easy way for me to make songs because every time I went to the studio, all my shit was already practiced already. So all I had to do was just have somebody record it and then put the little shit on it, mix it and master it and shit like that, give it back to me, and we can put the shit out. And that's what it was. Go to the motherfucking shit. Go to the where was we at? Go to the to Green Tree Studios, right? In Santa Monica. Them guys, they was really nice. Even though I was like mad older than them and shit. And they didn't work. I don't think they worked at that time. I don't think they worked with a lot of guys like me. Just niggas, just random, out of nowhere. These niggas come out of nowhere. No entourage, no nothing. Like, who is this nigga? Like, who is this random ass nigga up in here doing these one take verses and shit like that? Not even making no fucking songs or anything like that, nigga. I was just going in their balcony is just a song where I'm just rapping about whatever the fuck I was rapping about, broken up. It's basically two verses broken up by a clip from The Professional, right? That I still have not gotten in trouble over, never got any type of anything over for using that shit. And that shit was on streaming services for like 4 years, right? So yeah, well, after the divorce, that shit was a rap. That shit was a fucking rap. Like it was like, and I was at home all the time too, because niggas was working from home and shit a lot. So I just could not focus on writing rhymes. I just couldn't. Right. This was a lot easier. Doing this shit was a lot easier, and it's a lot more fulfilling too. And I do this shit because I like doing this shit. I don't do this shit for like any type of recognition. If you know me as a person, you know that I'm not that type of person. I don't really do it for money. Like, it'd be cool if it made some money, but I don't really do it for no money and shit. I do it because this shit fun as fuck. Technical side of the shit, this shit cool. You know, that's enough about me.
Number 1, I do not cook for my husband. I only cook for my children.
I already don't like that.
My husband will be making his own breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Number 2, I do not help him pay any bills. So if he is short...
We've heard enough. We've heard the fuck enough. And that might be satire, but let's treat it as if it was a real thing, because there's a lot of women who think like that. And shout out to those women if you guys can get away with that bullshit. Because it takes me back to what I, necessarily require in a quote unquote spouse, right? I'm not a guy that you need to cook meals for, right? I'm not a man who's, I need dinner ready for me when I come home from work. That's not really it, right? Because one, you need to be contributing financially to this home, right? Our home together, right? It doesn't even matter. I can pay all the fucking bills, whatever. But at the same time, though, my spouse needs to be able to contribute financially to this house. More incomes we have coming into this house, the better the house will be, the better we will be, right? All that bullshit about women wanting just one man to do everything. Fuck all that. Fuck all of that. Because child care is my responsibility and my wife's responsibility whenever I get one of those. And one of those too. Everybody's responsible for everything in the house. It's not like I'm not relegating my wife to be, or potential partner to be, to the fucking kitchen. That's not necessarily her place, right? That's our place. Because I make messes too, and I cook and I clean, I do all that shit, right? I don't need someone to feel like they're a fucking slave to me. But I do need motherfucking cooperation. I do need a motherfucker to listen. I do need a motherfucker to challenge, right? To challenge, right? Not everything I say is right, but what I want is, I want my potential person to know that if you have a vested interest in our relationship, then you need to fucking speak up about things you don't like. If I say, hey, we're gonna go do this shit over here, and you do not want to do that shit, you need to speak up. You need to speak up. It makes no fucking sense to hold that in and then be mad at me secretly for fucking however long you want to do that shit. Nope. If you can't do that shit, if you can't speak up about nothing, So no, that lady's a red flag. I hope she gets divorced and her children get placed in an orphanage. I'm just kidding. No, I don't. I really don't. I don't. I'm gonna do that. What else do we got? Do women take shits? According to this dude, they do.
Not only do women poop, but they poop more than men. I'm not kidding. They might be fooling you, but they ain't fooling me. When's the
when the editing is like this, I just believe everything that's being said. Everything he's gonna say, I just believe. He has me convinced about everything.
last time you knew for a fact that a woman was taking a poop?
Essentially never.
Right, but they...
I've been married to a woman. I lived with this woman for 4 years, right? This was the last time I lived with someone. I have no idea when she took a shit. No idea. No clue. I don't know if we didn't use the same bathroom because she is fucking filthy. But I never knew when she took a shit. Like never. Even women I dealt with after, or even women, period. I don't know when they take shits. I know that they do, because I'm not stupid, but I don't know when they do it. I prefer not to know.
Right, but they pee constantly. My wife peed 11 times before we even had lunch yesterday.
What's going on with your brain, dude? How do you remember shit?
You know why they pee all the time? Because they're taking little poops.
Look at Jake Paul, goof ass. He can't believe it either. Neither can I. I cannot believe it myself that they do that. So now, motherfucker come over here and shit, take mad pisses and shit. I'm going to automatically assume they're taking shits. That's it. That's all. I'm convinced. I told you once the editing was like it was, he had me. He had me. Fuck you, Jake Paul. Not fuck you like that, but get the fuck off my screen. What else is next? So, before we get to that, yes, women take shits. Yeah. I'm not necessarily a roller coaster person. I am afraid of them. Nigga, I'm the type of nigga who don't give a fuck about admitting things about like the things that he's afraid of, right? I don't give a fuck about what you think, nigga. I'm a grown ass man, nigga. I'm too old to be worrying about, then Chris afraid of roller coasters. Yes, nigga, I'm afraid of roller coasters and I don't like horror movies. So ha. Ha, I'm secure. Nah. But there's no fucking way. Look at this shit right here. Take this shit out right here. No. Not me. I'm not riding none of that shit. I'm not even going in the park where some shit like that even exists. You might talk me into some shit. I might succumb to peer pressure and find myself in a situation I can't get myself out of. So, absolutely not. Fuck that shit. Anyway, is your mental health okay? I hope so. But I don't really care about your specific mental health issues. I just hope that if you do have mental health issues, you go get that shit checked out. Because it's important that you know that people care about you, not me. I don't care about you. But there's probably people in your life that cares about you. So for them, not me, go get yourself checked out. Yeah. So that's the show for this evening. It is hot. Then there's some bitch in here. I am about to go take this shirt off and hang it back up on the thing because I just wore it for this, and I don't have any pants on. Surprise.